빚쟁이들에게 쫓기는 한 남자. 엘지는 귀족임에도 방탕한 생활로 인해 가산을 몽땅 탕진한 상태였죠.
Did you hear what I was playing, Lane?
I didn't think it polite to listen, sir.
But I play with wonderful expression.
Yes, sir.
Bills, bills, bills. All I ever get is bills.
And then there's the matter of my unpaid wages, sir.
한편 시골에 사는 부유한 귀족 잭은 런던에 가기 위해 서두르는데
Yet again, the wastrel habits of my brother Ernest turn me from my duties here.
Yes, sir.
Terrible nuisance, but there's nothing to be done. I shall return Monday afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Pay particular attention, if you will, Miss Prism, to her German grammar.
Yes, Mr. Worthing.
런던에 도착해 한껏 멋을 낸 잭은 말과는 달리 동생이 아닌 술집을 찾습니다.
Ernest. Algie!
How are you, my dear Ernest? What brings you up to town?
Oh, pleasure, pleasure. What else would bring one anywhere?
사실 어니스트는 잭이 직무에서 벗어나 런던을 방문하기 위해 만들어낸 가공의 인물로 그가 런던에서 사용하는 가명이었죠.
Say, dear boy, what plans have you got for tea tomorrow?
You know perfectly well that Aunt Augusta is coming to tea tomorrow.
Aunt Augusta.
Yes, Aunt Augusta. And Gwendolyn.
How perfectly delightful.
잭이 런던을 자주 찾는 이유는 그웬돌린이라는 여인 때문이었는데요.
I am in love with Gwendolyn. And I have come up to town expressly to propose to her.
Anyway, I certainly can't see you and Gwendolyn being married.
Why on earth do you say that?
Well, in the first place, I don't give my consent.
Your consent?
My dear fellow, Gwendolyn is my cousin. And before I allow you to marry her, you shall have to clear up this whole question of Cecily.
셋이 있는 잭이 후견을 맡고 있는 소녀였고 우연히 잭에 담뱃갑을 주운 엘지가 그녀에게 강한 호기심을 드러내죠.
From little Cecily with her fondest love to her dear Uncle Jack. Besides, your name isn't Jack at all, it's Ernest.
It isn't Ernest. It's Jack.
What? You've always told me it was Ernest.
Well, it is Ernest in town and Jack in the country. And the cigarette case was given to me. So I've always pretended to have a younger brother.
Ah, of the name of Ernest. And little Cecily.
My ward, Miss Cecily Cardew.
Where is that place in the country, by the way?
Oh, that is nothing to you, dear boy. You are certainly not going to be invited. I may tell you candidly, the place is not in Shropshire.
잭이 도시로 오기 위해 어니스트라는 인물을 만들어냈듯 엘지 역시 불편한 자리를 피하려 가짜 친구를 만들었는데요.
Called Bunbury, in order that I may be able to go down to the country as often as I choose. You must be her. If I manage to get her out of the way for 10 minutes so that you may have an opportunity for proposing to Gwendolyn, may I dine with you at Savoy tonight?
오거스타 부인과 그녀의 딸 그웬돌린이 도착하고
Lady Bracknell.
Oh, goodness, you are smart.
Oh, I'm always smart. Am I not, Mr. Worthing?
You are quite perfect, Miss Fairfax.
Oh, I hope I am not that. It would leave no room for development.
I've got quite a treat for you tonight, Algie. Going to send you down with Mary Farker. She is such a nice
Afraid,
woman.
Aunt Augusta, I shall have to give up the pleasure of dining with you tonight.
엘지는 가상의 인물을 들이대며 이모님과 식사 자리를 피하려 하죠.
But I've just had a telegram to say that my poor friend Bunbury is very ill again.
I rely on you to arrange my music for me.
I'll speak to Bunbury, Aunt Augusta, if he's still conscious. And now, if you'll follow me into the next room, I'll run over the musical program I've already drawn up for the occasion.
Thank you, Algie. It is very thoughtful of you.
자연스레 둘만의 시간을 만들어주는 엘지.
Miss Fairfax, ever since I met you, I have admired you more than any girl I've ever met since... I met you.
Yes, I'm quite aware of the fact, and I often wish that in public, at any rate, you'd been more demonstrative. For me, you have always had an irresistible fascination.
Gwendolyn.
Even before I met you, I was far from indifferent to you. We live, as I hope you know, Mr. Worthing, in an age of ideals. And my ideal has always been to love someone of the name of... The moment Algy first mentioned to me that he had a friend called Ernest, I knew I was destined to love you.
그은돌리는 어니스트라는 이름에 매료되어 있었죠.
You don't mean to say, though, dear, that you couldn't love me if my name wasn't Ernest.
But your name is Ernest.
Gwendolyn, we must get married at once.
Married, Mr. Worthing?
Mr. Worthing, rise, sir, from this semi-recumbent posture. It is most indecorous.
I am engaged to be married to Mr. Worthing, Mamma.
You will wait for me below in the carriage.
Mamma.
In the carriage, Gwendolyn.
오거스타는 즉이 영 탐탁치 않은데
I feel bound to tell you, Mr. Worthing, you are not down on my list of eligible young men. However, I am quite ready to enter your name as a possible candidate. Perhaps you would attend a meeting at my house at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning.
잭은 약속대로 LG에게 저녁 식사를 대접하죠.
Oh, my dear fellow, you've forgotten to pay the bill.
Not at all. I make it a point never to pay at the Savoy.
Why on earth not? You have heaps of money.
Yes, but Ernest hasn't. And he's got quite a reputation to keep up.
다음 날 잭은 오거스타 부인과의 약속대로 그녀의 저택을 찾고
Good luck, sir.
면접 아닌 면접을 보게 됩니다.
Do you smoke?
Well, yes, I must admit I smoke.
I'm glad to hear it. How old are you?
35.
A very good age to be married at. I've always been of opinion that a man who desires to get married should know either everything or nothing. Which do you know?
I know nothing, Lady Bracknell.
I'm pleased to hear it. What is your income?
Between 7,000 and 8,000 a year.
In land or in investments?
In investments, chiefly.
That is satisfactory.
분위기가 점점 부드러워지는 듯하지만
Are your parents living?
I have lost both my parents. The fact is, Lady Bracknell, I said I had lost my parents. It would be nearer the truth to say my parents seem to have lost me. I actually don't know who I am by birth. The late Mr. Thomas Cardew, an old gentleman of a very charitable and kindly disposition, found me and gave me the name of Worthing because he happened to have a first-class ticket for Worthing in his pocket at the time.
역산의 어느 가방 안에서 발견되었던 잭.
I confess I am somewhat bewildered by what you have just told me. To be born, or at any rate bred in a handbag, whether it has handles or not, seems to me to display a contempt for the ordinary decencies of family life.
출신을 알 수 없는 잭을 오거스타는 딸의 짝으로 허락하지 않죠.
You can hardly imagine that I and Lord Bracknell would dream of allowing our only daughter, a girl brought up with the utmost care, to marry into a cloakroom and form an alliance with a parcel.
상심한 잭을 찾아와 위로하는 그웬돌린.
Origin, as related to me by Mamma, with unpleasing comments, has naturally stirred the deeper fibres of my nature. I followed you here to reassure you that there is nothing that you can possibly do can alter my eternal devotion to you.
Dear Gwendolyn.
Your town address at the Albany I have. What is your address in the country?
The Manor, Woolton, Hertfordshire.
한편 잭의 주소를 알게 된 LG는 잭의 피우견인인 세실리에 대한 호기심에 그의 집을 방문하는데요.
You are my little cousin Cecily, I'm sure.
잭의 가상 동생인 어니스트 행세를 하는 LG.
I can't understand how you're here at all. Uncle Jack won't be back till Monday afternoon.
Oh, that is a great disappointment. I'm obliged to go up with the first train on Monday morning. I have a business appointment that I'm anxious to miss.
젊고 아름다운 세실리에 반한 LG는 그녀를 유혹하려 하죠.
That is why I want you to reform me. You might make that your mission if you don't mind, cousin Cecily.
I'm afraid I've no time this afternoon.
Well, would you mind me reforming myself this afternoon? I feel better already.
You're looking a little worse.
Well, That's because I'm hungry.
그런데 잭이 예정보다 빨리 집에 돌아오고
I trust this garb of woe does not betoken some terrible calamity.
잭은 일이 더 꼬이기 전 어니스트의 존재를 없애려 하는데
Dead.
Brother Ernest is dead.
이곳에 LG가 있다는 생각은 꿈에도 하지 못하죠.
Were you with him at the end?
No, he died abroad, in Paris, in fact.
하지만 동생이 현재 집에 있다는 이야기를 듣게 되고 뻔뻔한 거짓말로 상황을 모면하려는 LG.
I've come down from town to tell you that I'm very sorry for all the trouble I've given you, and that I fully intend to lead a better life in the future. What can I say? The old Ernest is dead. Long live the new Ernest. I thought you'd like my little joke.
Little joke.
A chew. About a joke. Oh, God.
그의 재치의 사건은 일단락되죠. LG는 자연스레 세실리에게 접근하는데
Cecily.
Might I have a buttonhole first? No. I'd sooner have a pink rose. Because you are like a pink rose, Cousin Cecily.
I don't think it could be right for you to talk to me like that. Miss Prism never says such things to me.
Then Miss Prism is a short-sighted old lady.
그러던 어느 날 그웬돌린에게서 편지가 도착합니다.
Dear Ernest, how desperately I have missed you. It seems an age since I last saw you. It is your very name that inspires me now to take my future in my hands. And so it is I have resolved to flee these prison walls and make my way directly to your side, to my one and only
Ernest! Ernest!
한편 LG는 세실리를 유혹하기 바쁘고
Cecily, ever since I first looked upon your wondrous and incomparable beauty, I have dared to love you passionately, devotedly, hopelessly.
I beg your pardon, sir. There are two gentlemen wishing to see you.
Mr. Ernest Worthing,
Yes?
of B4, the Albany.
Yes, that is my address.
I am very sorry, sir, but I have a writ of attachment against you at the suit of the Savoy Hotel Company Limited for £762, 14.
잭이 런던에서 쓰고 다닌 외상값이었죠.
Committal of my person.
For 6 months.
Oh, for 6 months.
Gross effrontery. Just what I expected from him.
And it is ingratitude. I didn't expect that.
그때
I agree to settle my brother's accounts on the condition that he makes his way without delay to the bedside of the poor, bedridden Bunbury, whose health I have recently been informed is rapidly declining.
그렇게 LG는 잭의 집에서 쫓겨나고 떠나기 전 세실리에게 프로포즈를 하죠.
I only care for you. I love you, Cecily. Will you marry me, Cecily, will you?
Of course.
처음부터 그와의 결혼을 꿈꿨던 세실리.
Yes, of course.
You mustn't laugh at me, darling, but it has always been a girlish dream of mine to love someone whose name is Ernest. There's something in that name. Seems to inspire absolute confidence.
세실리의 마음은 얻었지만 찝찝한 마음을 지울 수 없는데
Algae, for instance.
But I fear that I would never be able to give you my...
The dog cart is ready for you, son.
그때 또 다른 손님이 저택을 찾아오죠.
Miss Fairfax, pray let me introduce myself to you. My name is Cecily Cardew.
서로 다른 어니스트와 약혼한 두 여인이 한자리에 모이게 되고
You're here on a short visit, I suppose.
Oh no, I live here.
Really? Your mother, no doubt, or some female relative of advanced years resides here also.
Oh no, I have no mother nor in fact any relations.
Indeed.
My dear guardian has the arduous task of looking after me.
Your guardian.
Yes, I'm Mr. Worthing's ward.
이런 사실을 모르고 있던 그웬돌린은 당혹감을 감추지 못하죠.
But I am bound to state that now that I know you are Mr. Worthing's ward, I cannot help expressing a wish that you were, well, and not quite so very alluring in appearance. Ernest has a strong, upright nature.
Jack. Jack, for instance. A charming name.
Oh, but it is not Mr. Ernest Worthing who's my guardian. It is his brother, his elder brother.
Oh, that accounts for it. Cecily, you've lifted a load from my mind. I was growing almost anxious.
In I am going to be his.
일은 걷잡을 수 없이 꼬여버리는데
Mr. Ernest Worthing and I are engaged to be married.
My darling Cecily, I think there must be some slight error. Mr. Ernest Worthing is engaged to me.
I'm afraid you must be under some misconception. Ernest proposed to me exactly 10 minutes ago.
Oh, it's very curious, for he asked me to be his wife yesterday afternoon at 5:30. I'm so sorry, dear Cecily, but I'm afraid I have the prior claim.
그때 LG가 돌아오죠.
Ernest! You're back so soon.
My own love. Good heavens, Gwen.
I think there must be some slight error, Miss Cardew. The gentleman who is now embracing you is my cousin, Mr. Algernon Moncrief.
Algie!
Here is Ernest. Oh, Ernest.
Gwendolyn, my darling.
I knew there must be some misunderstanding, Miss Fairfax. The gentleman whose arm is at present round your waist is my guardian, Mr. John Worthing.
I beg your pardon?
This is Uncle Jack.
Jack?
두 남자의 거짓에 여인들은 한편이 되고
I certainly don't rate your chances as my ward, Algernon.
I don't think there's much likelihood of you, Jack, and Miss Fairfax being united. Jack.
잭은 세례명이라도 그 이름을 얻기 위해 교회를 찾습니다.
Mr. Worthing, you've been christened already.
I don't remember anything about it.
What hour would you wish the ceremony performed?
I might trot round at about 6 o'clock if that would suit you.
We cannot both be christened, Ernest. It's absurd.
I have a perfect right to be christened if I like.
그녀들의 화를 풀기 위해 노력하는 두 남자.
She will not come, I know her well, so cruel and so fair.
둘의 노력에 여성들의 마음이 조금은 풀리죠.
Mr. Moncrief, kindly answer me the following question. Why did you pretend to be my guardian's brother?
In order that I might have an opportunity of meeting you.
That certainly seems a satisfactory explanation, does it not?
Yes, dear, if you can believe him. Mr. Worthing, what possible explanation can you offer me for pretending to have a brother? Was it in order that you might have an opportunity of coming up to town to see me as often as possible?
Can you doubt it, Miss Fairfax?
I have the gravest doubts on the subject, but I intend to crush them. Their explanations appear to be quite satisfactory.
하지만 한 가지 문제가 더 있었는데
Your Christian names are still an insuperable barrier.
We're going to be christened this afternoon.
For my sake, you're prepared to do this terrible thing.
I am.
To please me, you're ready to face this fearful ordeal.
그렇게 화해가 마무리되려던 순간 오거스타 부인이 찾아옵니다.
Lady Bracknell.
Gwendolyn! May I ask, Mr. Worthing, who is that young person whose hand my nephew Algernon is now holding in what seems to me to be a peculiarly unnecessary manner?
That lady is Miss Cecily Cardew, my ward.
Yes, I am engaged to be married to Cecily, Aunt Augusta.
오거스타는 딸을 데리고 돌아가려 하는데요.
As a matter of form, Mr. Worthing, I'd better ask if Miss Cardew has any little fortune.
Oh, about £130,000 in the funds, that is all.
A moment, Mr. Worthing.
그녀의 막대한 재산에 오거스타는 관심을 보이고
Miss Cardew seems to me to be a most attractive young lady now that I look at her. The chin a little higher, dear. Style largely depends on the way the chin is worn. They're worn very high just at present. Algie?
Yes, Aunt Augusta.
There are distinct social possibilities in Miss Cardew's profile.
오거스타는 LG의 결혼만을 허락하죠.
I beg your pardon for interrupting you, Lady Bracknell, but I am Miss Cardew's guardian. She cannot marry without my consent until she comes of age. And that consent I absolutely decline to give.
순식간에 상황은 역전되고
During my temporary absence in London on an important question of romance, he obtained admission to my house by means of the false pretense of being my brother. He then proceeded to win over the affections of my only ward when his own intentions, I'm utterly convinced, were purely financial. Tonight, if you dare.
I would beg you to reconsider your decision.
No, my dear Lady Bracknell, the matter is entirely in your own hands. The moment you consent to my marriage with Gwendolyn, I will most gladly allow your nephew to form an alliance with my ward.
You must be aware that what you propose is out of the question.
그때 세례 준비를 마친 목사가 찾아오죠.
Algy, I forbid you to be baptized. I will not hear of such excesses.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Dr. Chasuble.
Yes, yes.
Miss Prism has asked me to tell you. She's waiting for you in the vestry.
Did I hear you mention a Miss Prism?
Yes, madam. I'm on my...
Is this Miss Prism a female of repellent aspect, remotely connected with education?
She is the most cultivated of ladies.
Dr. Chasuble, take me to the vestry at once. I've been expecting you, dear doctor.
Prism!
오거스타를 보자 놀란 얼굴로 도망치는 프리즘.
Where is that baby? 34 years ago, Prism, you left Lord Bracknell's house, number 104 Upper Grosvenor Street, in charge of a perambulator that contained a baby of the male sex. You never returned, but the baby was not there. Prism, where is that baby?
프리즘은 아기를 잃어버린 그날에 대해 설명하죠.
I prepared as usual to take the baby out in its perambulator. I had also with me a somewhat old but capacious handbag. In a moment of mental abstraction, for which I never can forgive myself, I deposited the manuscript in the bassinet and placed the baby in the handbag.
But where did you deposit the handbag?
I left it in the cloakroom of one of the larger railway stations in London.
What railway station?
Victoria. The Brighton line.
제게 가슴 아픈 출생의 비밀이 이렇게 풀려버립니다.
I was the baby you placed in it. Mother!
Mr. Worthing, I am unmarried. There is some error. There is the lady who can tell you who you really are.
You are the son of my poor sister, Mrs. Moncrief, and consequently Algy's younger brother.
지난 일들이 주마등처럼 스쳐가는데
I knew I had a brother.
Always said I had a brother.
Under these strange and unforeseen circumstances, Mr. Moncrief, you may kiss your Aunt Augusta.
모든 일이 잘 마무리되고
But wait, who are you? I mean, what is your Christian name, Mr. Moncrief? Now you have become someone else.
장교 명부를 확인하던 잭은 놀라운 사실을 발견하는데요.
Christian names. I always told you, Gwendolyn, that my name was Ernest, didn't I?
My own Ernest. I felt from the first that you could have no other name.
하지만 명부 어디에도 어니스트라는 이름은 없었죠.
You seem to be displaying signs of triviality.
On the contrary, Aunt Augusta. I've now realized for the first time in my life the vital importance of being earnest.
마침내 진실한 마음으로 사랑을 쟁취한 그들의 모습을 끝으로 영화는 마무리됩니다.